So today I will be talking about my fan experience at all three of the different sporting events. These will include a high school game, high school basketball game, a professional volleyball game with the Omaha Supernovas, and another professional volleyball game with League One volleyball. And I will also break down each experience and then compare them to see which level did the best job with engaging the fans. So the first event that I attended was a high school basketball game. This event was between Gretna East and York High School. It took place at Gretna East High School on March 3rd. The gym was completely packed. There were a lot of fans that came out for both schools, and the venue itself was very large. So with they also had a lot of seating and space to walk around, and it was kind of similar to what we have in Whitekert. And one reason I decided to attend this game and event was that it was just a local game and it was easy to get to. Parking was simple. There were two very large entrances, which also helped with the crowd flow and the fans showing support for both teams. But inside, the setup was nice, but there was only one concession stand, which caused some limitations with the times for the fans to get their snacks and get back to their seats. But the best part was the atmosphere. In the fourth quarter, Gretna East scored 10 points in about 30 seconds, and the crowd got extremely loud and into the game. And that moment really showed how strong fan energy can be, even at a high school level. So, the second event that I attended was a professional volleyball match between the Omaha Supernovas and the Columbus Fury. And this event took place at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. It went it went on April 24th, and the arena was much bigger than the high school, and it had a very large crowd that came out to support. So why I decided to attend this event was because of the popularity of the Supernovas and honestly the professional environment that I was going to be in. And also I had great seats in the second row, which honestly made the experience much better. There was a lot of advertising both on and off the court, which honestly showed the business side of professional sports. And what stood out to me the most was when the fans engaged with the volleyball teams during the timeouts and breaks, and when both teams switched sides after each set. And there were a lot of activities and entertainment that kept fans involved, and this made the game feel more exciting even when the play was stopped during the game. And my third event was another professional volleyball game. This time, I went to a League One volleyball, and it was held at Baxter Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. This event was very similar to the Supernovas game in terms of the setup, the size, overall experience. This game was played of between League One volleyball of Nebraska and League One volleyball of Houston. And as mentioned in the previous slide, this event was very similar to the Omaha Supernovas game. I had close seating again, so I felt as though I was more engaged than I would have been sitting further back. And there was honestly a very strong crowd energy. There were organized seating. There was a good fan engagement throughout the game. This showed the consistency the professional level when it comes to creating a quality fan experience. And when comparing the events, the high school game had more raw and emotional energy to it, especially during the big moments. However, it did lack the resources like multiple concessions, organized promotions, and the professional games were much more structured with planned entertainment. They had better seating. They had consistent engagement with the fans. So honestly, it really comes down to natural excitement versus versus the professionally created experiences. So when it comes down to the best fan engagement, I believe that the professional level did the best job with engaging fans overall. This is because they kept fans involved throughout the entire game, not just during gameplay. So things like the timeouts, entertainment, music, the organized promotions, it made the experience more complete and enjoyable for the fans overall. And if I were a fan experience director, I would honestly take the best parts of each level and I would keep the natural energy from the high school games and combine it with the structured entertainment from the professional events. And for the high school games, I would honestly add more concessions. I would create more fan activities for the fans to increase attendance. I would use social media to increase that. I would offer student incentives and promote events more heavily in the community. And as you can see in this slide, there were many things to look at while attending these events. Some of these photos listed show like what the crowd involvement looked like, what tickets may have looked like, and even what the overall atmosphere looked like. It also showed the type of marketing and advertisements that each of these events had, which was pretty cool. So, in conclusion, each level of the sports offers something different. High school sports bring passion and energy, while professional sports provide a more complete and organized experience overall for their fans. And as someone who has been around sports my entire life, I know that each sporting event is more than just that players who are playing the game, but instead also includes the fans and the type of atmosphere that the sport is being played in. And overall, professional events did a better job engaging fans, but combining both styles would create the best possible fan experience overall.